And we say good morning to you. We are broadcasting live again in studio today. We are here thanks to Chick-fil-A, who is closed. Lobby's closed. Drive-thru is open to 4:30. Again, at Chick-fil-A in Elizabethton. Roads, the main ones are clear, but the back roads, as you would expect, are not so hot, depending where you are. Now, some are okay and some aren't. But the general rule of thumb is if you don't have to go out again today, don't. It's cold, and it's going to warm up when you know it's going to be, 19 degrees today, or I'm sorry, 32 degrees today. It's like, wow, it's a heat wave. And tonight they're saying it's not so cold, it's going to be down to the teens. Here at the old homestead this morning, it got down to 2 below. So the record was 0, set back in 71, not at my place, but in the Tri-Cities, and it got down to somewhere, it got down to 7 below this morning. That's the air temperature. That is cold. It was -2 here on the back porch. So when I see people this summer complaining about the heat, I'll probably throat punch them. -2 on the old thermometer today. So it is going to warm up. Up in the 30s today, the sun going to be out. It's going to start melting. Tomorrow, big time melt. It's going to be in the 40s. Then they're calling for some rain to come in here, maybe change the snow on Wednesday. So we'll worry about Wednesday. It's Groundhog Day today, of course. And did he? He did. That's not good. But it's all on how you look at it, I guess. Some of you like winter out there, and that's okay, but I don't. And so, it's all right. It's part of it. You live in this part of the country, and we'll get cold weather and snowy weather, but it's okay. It's short-lived. Again, we're going to be back up in the 40s tomorrow, so it's never too hot or too cold for too long here, and that's the beauty for me, is why I live here. Plus, I love the people here in Appalachia. But anyway, having said all that, the groundhog known as Punxsutawney Phil did see his shadow this morning. That means we are going to see 6 more weeks of winter weather, according to groundhog lore, which is all it is. 5th time in the last 6 years that Phil has seen his shadow, and the 20th time since 2000. So it's been pretty consistent. His prediction comes on the heels of back-to-back winter storms, and so they got a foot of snow here, or we got a foot of snow here in the weekend, in the south over the weekend, I should say. And I saw did you see the video? I guess you did at Charlotte. Interstate 85, where they were backed up in the wreck, and it was to the point they had to call in the National Guard to help out. So that's what I tell folks. That's what I tell my granddaughters. I said, get off the road, not because you can't drive, because there are folks who can't drive. They're either coming through here as tourists going from point A to point B, or just people using our interstates from point A to point B. Or you have people who's moved in here that are not used to driving winter weather. So either way, it becomes very problematic very quickly. And so if you don't have to go out, don't. That's what I told them, and they didn't, and I appreciate that. So that's what you have to remember. But, and anytime you take off, I'm going to preach to you here a little bit, but anytime you're going to take off in weather like we have here, wintry weather, because you don't really know what's going to be between here and there, you always pack the basics, and you know this: flashlight and batteries, a phone charger, energy bars, certainly blankets. I know some throw a bag of cat litter in case you get stuck somewhere. Use that to throw it under your wheels for traction. So do what you want, do as you need to do, but that's some of the basics that folks are encouraged to use when you're out here with wintry weather, because you don't really know. You assume, okay, I'm just going to go over to the mall. I'm just going to go from here to going to a ball game in Kingsport, going here to going there, and you hit a little snow or ice or a little storm, a little clipper comes out of nowhere, which happened, what was it, 2 years ago? They got stuck on Interstate 26 for several hours because it came out of nowhere. So just heeding advice, do what you need to do. Birthdays today. You have, on this Monday, Groundhog Day, Christy Brinkley's having a birthday. She is 72. Graham Nash from Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young is having a birthday. He's 84. And then you have Howard Bellamy from the Bellamy Brothers, one of the great country duet, father-son team. He is a birthday boy today. He is 80. Here we go. Watch how it clears it up. Fisherman's Friend. It's a testimonial. We pick them up from Lingerfeld Drug Center. And also Food City sells them as well. 2 of our great sponsors. By the way, you have the Jewelers Bench closed today. Double C Western Supply is closed anyway on Monday, so they're automatically closed. And then Chick-fil-A, where we normally are, will be there tomorrow. Chick-fil-A is drive-through only in Elizabethton today, so you can still get those floats. I know people who will. They've been selling the whiz out of the Dr. Pepper floats and the root beer floats. Of course, you can get Coke Zero, any of the drinks, High C, any of the drinks they have it. It's a regular menu item now at Chick-fil-A. See, I'm telling you, these things work. You should pop one in. There they are. I live by them. Fisherman's friend. So, any of the floats are there. They are available. And again, the drive-thru's open to 4:30 today, and we'll close early for that. And I totally get it. Get everybody back home. Tomorrow will be much, much better. All the schools are out today, and that's understood. All ball games are canceled. We got games tomorrow night scheduled. We do. We don't know at this point they're on, but we do have a ball game scheduled tomorrow night at Daniel Boone. We'll give you the national anthem, or get you the national anthem. Let's give you the verse today to get it started. We got 3 stories. I come on here every day and tell you things are changing in the world of college athletics, and they are. And so, three stories since Friday's show. Let's hit this real quick, and then we'll take a break, get the national anthem. And so, here we go. The verse today is Psalms 62:8. We always dedicate our broadcast to the man who hung on the cross, the Lord Jesus. Trust in, lean on, and rely on him, and have confidence in him at all times. You people, pour out your hearts to him. Let's try it again. Start over. Let's do it this way. Trust in, lean on, rely on, and have confidence in him at all times. You people, pour out your hearts before him. God is a refuge or a fortress for us. Selah. When you read the book, in the Old Testament, you see S-E-L-A-H. That means to stop and ponder and think about what you just read, which is very good. Then I put on there, thank you, Lord Jesus, that you want us to have total confidence in you, to help us with our lives, to tell you everything that's coming, or rather that's going on. Then you remind us that you're our refuge or a fortress, so we can get behind you as you want to protect us too. Thank you for loving us the way you do. Let me read that again. That's good stuff. Thank you, Lord Jesus, that you want us to have total confidence in you to help us with our lives, to tell you everything that's going on. And then you remind us that you are a refuge or a fortress. We can get behind you as you want to protect us too. Thank you for loving us the way you do. The verse of the day is Psalm 62:8. And that's how we get our show started. National anthem, then we got these 3 stories. It's mind-boggling. Had a coach handcuffed and taken off of court this weekend. I'm not making this up. Sad. You almost reach the point when you go into these ball games, I mean, you really don't know what's going to happen. Everybody's so, on the edge, wound up, I guess would be a way to look at it. I'm not sure how to even describe it, but it's unbelievable how quick things get out of hand. A coach got handcuffed. I got the story. A fight in Charlotte, high school teams. Got the story. Then we got what I tell you about Bediako, the Alabama guy, what he's going to do, set a precedent. Got it right here. Got another guy who has played in the NBA and wants to come back and play in college basketball. And he's talking about getting attorneys if he doesn't get what he wants. Told you. Told you where we're headed. All right, here we go. Who is going to do it? Oh, Chris Stapleton, old long hair, get up here and sing for us. The national anthem of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light was so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we walked were so gallantly streaming, and the Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
It's an exciting Elizabethton Cyclone basketball doubleheader. Hi, this is Tom Taylor, inviting you to join me this Tuesday night from Daniel Boone High School in Gray as the Cyclones go on the road to battle Daniel Boone in a big conference showdown, again, guys and girls. Lady Cyclones started at 6:15 with the boys to follow. Audio only. The Cyclones on the road at Daniel Boone. It all starts at 6:15 this Tuesday night here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show Facebook page and on YouTube. Go Elizabethton Cyclone basketball. And back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show, brought to you by Chick-fil-A, where we are today. Thanks to them, we're not at Chick-fil-A, but we'll be there tomorrow, as they are, again, lobby closed, drive-through only till 4:30 today. They're closing early. Totally get that. Get them back home. Again, it's only going to be in the teens tonight. We act like it's a warm-up, and it is, quite frankly, but still, it's going to be another cold night. And so you would get them back home tonight, they being the employees, and for that matter, the customers. So they're closing at 4:30 today. Drive-through only at Elizabeth and Chick-fil-A. We'll be there tomorrow. Wednesday will be Chick-fil-A Johnson City. Thursday, Poor Trav's Deli, our February stop there. Best steamed sandwiches anywhere. And then on Friday, we'll kick off the weekend, Super Bowl weekend, as a matter of fact, as you know. We will be at Food City in Gray. So, and all those are on. So it'll get better starting tomorrow. Probably today, but certainly tomorrow. So we are anticipating back out on the trail. But today, that's the beauty of having a studio here in my home. And so that's why I created it for days like this. And it's okay. I get a chance to do this and not be on the air. I don't want to broadcast to you guys. And so there you go. Hello, David Garland. Guess we'll see you tomorrow night. We get a chance to see a very talented Daniel Boone girls basketball team tomorrow night. And so the Lady Cyclones, we're going back through now. It's a rematch. It's home and away. It's the second time through in the regular season. It's hard to believe it's winding down. Unbelievable, really, that it's Daddy used to say the older you get, the faster time marches on, and it does. Here it is, Groundhog Day. Somebody the other day was Christmas. So hello, Reba Whitehead. How you doing, lady? So anyway, that's where we are. We're broadcasting live in studio, brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Ooh, if I could get there today, I'm not so sure I still won't. Get me a big old thing of mac and cheese. Come home with it. Because the drive-thru is all we got open today at Chick-fil-A in Elizabethton. Or a big old bowl of chicken noodle soup. That's some good chicken noodle soup there, too. In fact, I've told Tommy, the owner, the only person I know that makes better chicken noodle soup is my grandmother. God rest her soul. She's in glory. But, man, she can make some chicken noodle soup. But Chick-fil-A is right there on the same level. It's really good. All right, so here we go. We got 3 stories. This tells you, for Tom's humble opinion, the landscape in which we're in college athletics or in the sports in general. All right. Tuskegee University coach Benji Taylor, handcuffed. I ain't making this up. It's bad English. I'm not making this up. Escorted off the floor by police on Saturday. His team lost at Morehouse College in a shocking sequence that punctuated a hard-fought battle between the two teams. All right. They're big rivals, obviously. The incident caught on video took place after Taylor and an individual wearing a police uniform. I mean, I watched the video. I just assumed, not a person, I would assume it was security for the school. Anyway, he had a police uniform on after a brief exchange, and I watched it about 10 times. Kept thinking, okay, now what did he do? Of course, I couldn't hear what he said. But he just turned around and asked asked the security guy. And you're going to understand why, because I would have asked the same thing. After a brief exchange, quickly escalated as the officer grabbed his handcuffs from his belt and put them on Taylor, the coach from Tuskegee University. Handcuffed him, took him off the court. He didn't fight him. When he handcuffed him, he just walked off the floor. Made no sense to me. Well, here's where it all got started. Now, they played this game at Morehouse, okay? Tuskegee's the visiting team. They got beat. Well, after the game, and I'm thinking more and more that this probably is going to go away, that teams shaking hands, showing good sportsmanship after the game. That's usually when things happen. That's where this happened. Well, here's what should not have happened. The football players from Morehouse are up in the stands of street clothes. They came down on the floor following the game. Understand, all of a sudden my team's out there. There's 12 or 14 of us, and we're shaking hands with the other team's players, but their football team down out of the stands. Now, somebody was talking some smack. You know that. Somebody, and they did. Somebody's run their mouth. Prompted Taylor to approach the security over the handling of the situation, which I would have done exactly the same thing. Okay, my guys, it's a little problematic out here, sir. We got the football team down here now in street clothes out here mingling with their players and our players. Now, somebody's going to smart off and say something, and they did. They're college boys. Taylor was simply trying to make sure conference-mandated security protocols were being enforced. Taylor was concerned about a security breach. I would have been right there with him. Now, you think that you're out there playing, you're on a basketball team, you're on the road, big rivalry game, game's over, you get down and start shaking hands. They've been at each other all ball game. It's intense. Hello, Brenda Grindstaff. How you doing, lady? So at the conclusion of the game, we're shaking hands with the other team we just played and lost by 8 points on their floor. And all of a sudden you look up and their football team's down on the floor. Okay. Now, you would like to think it was all gentlemanly and everything went well. Well, it didn't. The video shows Taylor in a state of bewilderment as he appears to react in real time to being told he's being handcuffed. His shock quickly turned into a smile, seemingly laughing at how outrageous the situation was. He didn't fight it. He was later released, able to make the trip back home on the team bus. And there was no fight per se, but again, it was a situation that could have gone crazy real quick. So, and where was the security for Morehouse to say, guys, football team, everybody, football guys, back up there. Game's over. They're shaking hands. Let's get out of here before something breaks loose. So the coach goes over and asks the security guy. He was in uniform. I assumed he was a campus security. I don't know who he was. What part of law enforcement there in that town? Is he part of the city's law enforcement, the campuses? Don't know. But he was in uniform. And so I watched it. And the coach, it wasn't like he got up in his face. He was just what I could reading body language with no sound. He just simply, he was asking, I saw him point like, what are those guys doing down here? Anyway, he got handcuffed. Took him to the locker room. They released his handcuffs and said, get on the bus and go home. All right. I'm telling you, it's going to get crazier. It's, it's volatile. I guess that's the word. At any ball game you go to, you see people, and there's, for me, there's people I know, and I see them now, and they're like this. You see them out somewhere else, and you look at them in a ball game, it becomes a different person. I've seen that time and time again. Cyclone games, absolutely. College games, absolutely. Wherever I go, I see people and going, that ain't the person I knew because, and I get it to a point, they get all wound up over these games, screaming and hollering, and I get it because their favorite team is winning big or losing big, or it's always the officials' fault, of course. So, anyway, that was what happened at Tuskegee, or the Morehouse College over the weekend. Then we had the post-game handshake did turn into a brawl at a high school game in North Carolina. North Mecklenburg and West Charlotte, big rivals. The post-game handshake line did turn into a brawl, just a all-out swinging. They're throwing hay balers. They're after it. Latest high school basketball incident started when a player pushed an opposing coach to the ground. I understand that. That would be certainly I get it. So the player from the other team goes up and pushes the opposing coach to the ground. Bench is cleared. Coaches and parents rushed on the court trying to break up the altercation. Totally get that. So the player should not play again this year, at the minimum. I'd have run him. As my coach used to say, you get a technical, this is back in the day, You get a technical, I'm going to run you to your puke. And he did. He said, don't ever, let me argue with the officials. You play the game. Don't let the officials get in your head and the calls they make. You play the game. I'll take care of it. If there's a problem with officials, that's my job as a coach. You play. And if you get a technical, you will run to your puke, I promise you. That's old school. But it scared us. Nobody thought even twice to argue the official. Of course, back when we played, if there's a foul, you had to raise your hand. And our coach said, if you don't raise your hand up real tall where they can see it, you're coming over and sitting with me. So, again, that's old school. That's a long time ago. But it worked then. So, anyway, back to what's going on here. So a player pushed an opposing coach to the ground. Okay, stop right there. That player should never, they should suspend him for the year. Because what happened, at the minimum, a multiple number of games get his attention. So I'm not so sure if I'm not the AD of that school. I just say, we need your uniform. We don't need this because this could have gotten, and it did get crazy. It could have got really crazy. So benches cleared. Coaches and parents rushed on the court. This happened, when was this? Friday or Saturday. North Mecklenburg and West Charlotte. So two of the top-ranked teams in North Carolina. Doesn't make a difference. They're both 0-20. You don't do this, but they're currently, the Lions are ranked number 6 in the state. The Vikings are number 8 in the state. All right. Lions hosted the Vikings during this most recent matchup. The two campuses are separated by less than 10 miles. All right. Heated rivalry when both teams are good, like they are this season. Both communities showed out to create a rocking environment. It's okay. That's good news. That's good. When teams I cover, they come, take Elizabeth and Greenville. There's a big rival. Dobbins, Bennett, Science Hill, Boone, and Crockett. Pick them. Okay, it's all right. It's a heated rivalry. Both teams, again, both communities show out to support their team. No problems with that. He should be banned and drug tested. I'm a minimum be banned. Here's the thing. Here's old school talking again. Somebody's got to stop and make an example of somebody. Say, okay, we ain't doing this anymore. And there are consequences for your actions. Do I remember the Marine used to tell me that? Oh, yes, he did. Me and my 3 brothers. We messed up. He'd say, boys, come on in here in the bedroom. And that usually was not a good sign because there'd be weeping and wailing and gnashing of teeth. But he was right. He said, there's consequences for your choices. Who shot the neighbor's window out with a BB gun? Okay. Who put the tennis shoe in the toilet and flushed it and the toilet overflowed? Okay. So, consequences for your choices. Not quite as severe as this. But at some point, somebody's got to put some teeth into a rule and back it up. And say, okay, this kid, I don't know which team it was. It doesn't make a difference. So anyway, it's a heated rivalry. Fans 3 and 4 deep, standing room only. Student section's packed. You get this. So the game was an instant classic. So the game did not end cordially, as this story says. It started when 2 Viking players tried to dunk on the Lions hoop long after the final buzzer. As fans, security, and media climbed down on the court. All right, so after the game, one team decides to try and dunk on the Lions on the other team's hoop. Why would you do that? See, that's coaches. Coaches should say, get in line, let's shake hands, get out of here. Why are you going out there and trying to dunk something after I'm reading the story? Wasn't there. So watch some of the video. So, unfortunately, the game did not end cordially. Started with 2 Viking players. I don't know which team is the Vikings. Doesn't matter. Tried to dunk on the Lions' hoop long after the final buzzer. Why would you do that? Why would the coaches allow them to do that? It's just asking for trouble because that's like rubbing it in your face. Okay. And this is after the game. The fans are coming down on the court. These guys are trying to dunk it. Then an altercation broke out during the handshake line. A West Charlotte player got into a shoving match with a player from North Mecklenburg, which led both sides to converge on each other. So, It spilled over to the other side of the court. No punches were thrown, nothing like that. However, a West Charlotte player shoved a North Mecklenburg assistant coach, Clark Camp, to the ground amid the fracas. That's when it got all fired up. Okay, so the kid from West Charlotte shoves the North Mecklenburg coach to the ground. Stop right there. Young man, need your jersey. Thank you. Why would you go up and shove the other team's coach? Why would you shove anybody after the game? But why would you go shove their coach to the ground? Intentionally or unintentionally? Can't imagine it was not unintentional, but it wasn't there. So I have to be a third party just observing by what I'm reading here. So anyway, they shoved him to the ground. Fortunately, both sides were able to be separated before anyone got injured. Charlotte Mecklenburg Schools released the following statement. Altercation involving several students and adults took place on the basketball court. Charlotte Mecklenburg Schools actively investigating the situation in collaboration with both schools. Please note safety and the well-being of our students remain our highest priority. Of course, they got to play each other. All actions will be addressed in alignment with the student code of conduct. So the kid that shoved the coach, gone. See ya. So two teams play again, the last game of the regular season on February the 13th. So the Lions will travel to the Vikings for the rematch. Here's what I would do. And I'm not over there. I don't have any dog in the hunt. I would say we're going to have an empty gym. Well, you can't do that, Tom. Well, if it was standing room only the first time out and this kid's still playing, at the minimum I would do, if I was the coach of the team, who was it that shoved the kid? West Charlotte shoved the North Mecklenburg coach. Make sure I get this right here. Yep, there it is. So a West Charlotte player shoved a North Mecklenburg coach. They play again on February 13th. You're not playing. For actions, the first time out, you showed yourself, as Mama used to say, you ain't playing. So he wouldn't play the game. That may cut down some. The guy that created all this is not playing. In fact, you're not even going to be there. Street clothes, no. You may say something, do something stupid, sitting at the end of the bench in street clothes. You're going to stay at home and listen to it or watch it or whatever because you ain't going. That's what I would do. Anyway, they play both teams play again on February the 13th, and so this is West Charlotte and North Mecklenburg. So there you go. Tom Taylor Sports Show. It's out of control, folks, out of hand. Crazy. And it ain't getting any better. Bad English. It's not getting any better, and it's not going to get any better. But until somebody steps up, like they're monitoring this, they're going to do a code of conduct. You got to tell me somewhere there's a book in that book of rules that you can't, as a player, go shove the other team's coach down to the floor. It's got to be in there somewhere. That has to be code of conduct. So he has to sit out or pay the price, make an example out of him, and everybody else go, okay, we're probably not going to do this. So anyway, that's what's going on there. Then you have one more. Now we're going back into, let's take a break. We'll come back. Let's jump in here. Bediako, the player down in Alabama, the Florida Gators wore them out the other night. And after the game, Todd Golden, the Florida coach, has been anti this whole thing. He laid into them pretty good. He had some pretty cute things to say, little digs, not digging, if you will. So anyway, Bediako is playing. Well, we got one that's even more in your face, for lack of a better term, than what Bediako is. We'll take a break. We'll come right back. We'll tell you about it. It's going to change college sports if these guys get what they want. We'll take a break. We'll be right back after this from the Jeweler's Bench, who's closed today, by the way. Understandably so. The folks have been told to stay off the road. Roads still aren't real good. Main roads are okay, from what I've been told. I say okay. They're passable, and I haven't been out there, so I don't know that. I'm just reading. I'm just passing what I've read, what I've heard. So, but I guarantee the back roads are not in good shape. Remember, it was 2 below zero this morning. Ain't nothing melting at 2 below zero. Sorry. Sun's going to be out a little bit later on. It's going to be up around 32. It's going to be okay. It's going to melt some. Back down to the teens tonight. Going to be another slick night. Whatever melts will refreeze tonight when it's going to be in the upper teens. But now tomorrow it's going to be in the 40s, and so the meltdown begins. Back to a rain Wednesday. That'll help expedite the melting of the snow because the rain's going to make that go away. The good thing in all this is Looking out there, my flowers are covered up in snow, my knockout roses. They're going to get a good dose of water, which they'll need, getting ready for the springtime. So, hello to White Schaefer. Thank you for watching in Lebanon, Tennessee. We're live here in studio, brought to you by Chick-fil-A of Elizabethton. They are closed lobby drive-through open till 4:30 today, so you can still go through and get nuggets. Get one for me. Get a root beer float just for old Tom. I'm gonna get me a root beer float for old Tom, because if Tom could be there, he gave him a root beer float. Man, those things are good. They swirl it. You can either get a regular float or they can swirl it in with their ice stream. Whew. And by the way, the bingo tonight has been obviously canceled since the lobby's closed. They're going to be reopened tomorrow. We're going to be there tomorrow. We'll be at Chick-fil-A in Johnson City on Wednesday. Thursday, Poor Tribes Deli, the best. Steamed sandwiches. I had one the other day after the show. Whew. Talking about good. Lousy mercy. And they don't scrimp. I got that roast beef and cheese, and man, it was piled high with roast beef. It was good. And then Friday we'll kick off the weekend, Super Bowl weekend, the Patriots and the Seahawks, and Bad Bunny. No, not on this TV. So, by the way, they have come out with, and you do as you want, of course. It's America. You have the freedom to do what you want. But Turning Point with Erica Kirk now running the show for her late husband Charlie. They're having a alternative halftime show to the Bad Bunny. I'll find out where it's at. If you know, send me the link. What network it's going to be on, what channel, because they're going to do I don't know what it is, a conservative, alternative, whatever it is, to Bad Bunny. I don't even know anything about Bad Bunny. Know enough of what I've read that I'm not interested. He's a great guy, I guess. The Lord died for him too, but I'm not interested in his music or whatever he's got to say or do. So, anyway, it is Super Bowl weekend. We'll kick it off in Food City on Friday, and they've got lots of ideas for you to go get trays and all kinds of things for the Super Bowl weekend. Chips and trays and cheese balls and the whole, to bring the gang over to watch the Super Bowl this Sunday. The New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks in the Super Bowl. We'll take a break. We'll be right back after this. Show number 2438. On the day we say happy birthday to Christy Brinkley, who is 72. Graham Nash from Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, who's 84, and Howard Bellamy from the Bellamy Brothers, country music duo, father-son team. He is 80 today. Back after this from the Jewelers Bench and Chick-fil-A on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Jewelry is an investment. To get the highest quality at the best price, you need a jeweler that is trustworthy and experienced. With our own jeweler in-house, Jewelers Bench offers custom-made pieces, as well as general maintenance and repair services, and unique jewelry for all occasions. Local family-owned. We've been serving our community for over 25 years. Let us make your Christmas one to remember with heirloom jewelry that can be passed on through generations. Highest quality for the best price. Only at the Jewelers Bench, Elizabethton.
At Northeast Community Credit Union, we know the importance of taking care of your family and building our community. Are you remodeling your home, trading cars for your next road trip, or maybe you're considering an in-ground pool or a boat for the lake? Our loans are easy, fast, and convenient with the lowest payments around. Act now before rates go up. Apply online at bmycu.org, call us, or come see us in Elizabethton, Johnson City, or Rome Mountain. We have the loan you need.
Hi, my name is Janae, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken tortilla soup is it makes me feel warm inside. This is what cozy feels like. This is what bundling up in a blanket next to a fireplace with people you love feels like.
It's an exciting Elizabethton Cyclone basketball doubleheader. Hi, this is Tom Taylor, inviting you to join me this Tuesday night from Daniel Boone High School in Gray as the Cyclones go on the road to battle Daniel Boone in a big conference showdown, again, guys and girls. Lady Cyclones started at 6:15 with the boys to follow, audio only. The Cyclones on the road to Daniel Boone. It all starts at 6:15 this Tuesday night here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show Facebook page and on YouTube. Go Elizabethton Cyclone basketball. Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, I like how Kerry put that little tiny camera with a slice to it. No camera tomorrow night. It's audio only, and that's okay. I get that. I think, and it's okay. So we'll be there tomorrow night. Again, it's on until we've told otherwise. I know schools are out today. I would assume they'll go back to some degree tomorrow, maybe a delay. I don't know that. So, but right now the game is on. We have a game Friday that's, I would feel very confident to say it's on at the Viking Hall Friday night because the weather's going to improve drastically by the end of the week. Tomorrow, we'll see tomorrow night. If we go, again, as you saw, 6:15 airtime, the Lady Cyclones and Lady Blazers. Probably one of the better teams I've seen around here in a long time. So it'll be a good test tomorrow night again for the Lady Cyclones. So the goal is to get better for the tournament, which is right around the corner. And then the gentlemen will play the rematch of their game, too. The ladies' Blazers won the first one. The guys, Cyclone guys, won the boys' game first time out. So, in theory, we hope I'd get out tomorrow night and call a game. And so we hope that'll be the case tomorrow night at Daniel Boone and Gray. So we'll see. Right now it's on till we're told from our athletic director, Joe Diaz, otherwise. So don't forget the baseball auction for the Elizabethton Cyclone baseball auction is coming up on Thursday. And we get the honor to MC that, and so we'll be there on Thursday night. And it's Will Little, young man, again, what a great success story from Johnson City, who's a major league umpire. Got to call Game 1 of the World Series this year, and this guy's the real deal. He's very well respected among the umpires and the fraternity, if you will, the umpires of Major League Baseball. Will's going to be our guest speaker for the event on Thursday night, and he is, I've heard him, in fact, I've had him on the show in the past, and he is really, really good. So Will Little will be the guest speaker. Again, raising money. Got Sketty. Gives a big old plate of Sketty to get it started. And then, of course, the live auction. Got some really cool items. All this is coming up on Thursday in the Commons at Elizabethton High School. Hello, Mike Hines. How you doing? All right, so here's another story that's going to change college basketball if it goes through. Let's put that the key word here, former UCLA star Amari Bailey, who appeared in 10 NBA games. Now, he's played. Bediako was in the G League, never really got into the NBA per se. This guy's played in 10 games with the Hornets. He has hired a lawyer to petition the NCAA with hopes of returning to college basketball on one more season of eligibility. 21-year-old Bailey spent one season with the Bruins at UCLA before declaring to go to the NBA draft. Walked away. Not only signed a contract with the NBA, but played 10 games with the Hornets. Now, I read Rick Barnes. I love Rick Barnes. He's such a humble guy. In fact, I get a chance to go meet him. Bryce is setting it up where I can go down and meet him. Bryce Van Huss. Said, how long you want to be around him? Long enough to shake his hand, get a picture taken with him. I'm not starstruck by a lot of people, and I'm not starstruck with Rick Barnes, but I believe in what he's he walks the walk. He talks it, but he walks it as a Christian. And I just appreciate who he is as a man. So they interviewed him. He said, look, he just said it's real simple. If you leave college and sign the NBA, you can't come back. And I'm paraphrasing what he said, but that's in essence what he said. John Calipari was a little bit more animated, but he said the same thing. If you sign a contract and go to the NBA, you can't come back and play college basketball. You just can't. Because then all the guardrails are off. Well, here we are. It's here. Told you it's going to happen. Bediako was the door opener, and along with Trinidad Chambliss. Joey Aguilar, I think, did it the right way. He went in and showed proof of purchase, if you will. Not proof of purchase, but proof that, here's the reason why I'm petitioning for another year. Chambliss took in medical records, said, I had a respiratory illness and I played at Ferris State, so here's why I couldn't play. I want one more year of eligibility. I kind of get that. This guy just wants to come back and play because he wants to come back and play. So he says, right now I'd be a senior in college. Okay. But you chose. There again, consequences for your choices. Right now, I'd be a senior in college. I'm not trying to be a 27-year-old playing college athletics. No shade to the guy. I'm quoting this now. No shade to the guys that do that. That's their journey. But I want to go play. I want to go play professionally and learned a lot, went through a lot. So, why not me? Why can I not come back? Sir, because you went and played the NBA. Your college days are over, or they should be. Bailey was selected by the Hornets in the second round of the draft, played 10 games, averaged 2 points, 2.3 points in those 10 games. So then he went on, he signed with the Brooklyn Nets in September 2024, eventually joined the Long Island Nets of the G League, Most recently spent time with the Iowa Wolves, the G League affiliate of the Minnesota Timberwolves, but he did play in the NBA. Rick Barnes said it. Love Rick Barnes. He said, look, guys, he was real. I mean, he's just so, at least when I watch, the press conferences, what have you, says, the guys, when, not just this guys, when you sign a contract to go to the NBA, that's it. Your college days are over. And I'm paraphrasing what he said, but that's what he said. So this guy who played for the Hornets 10 games says, right now I'd be a senior in college. I want to come back. But you chose to go. We didn't, as Daddy said, we didn't hog tie you and drag you. You went on your own. So you opted to declare for the 2023 NBA draft, spent one season at UCLA, and now has went to the NBA draft and played for the Hornets for 10 games. Now he wants to come back. He has hired a lawyer to petition the NCAA with the hopes of returning to college basketball for one more season of eligibility. Wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole. Don't know the guy if he walked in the room here in my studio, but I wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole. So, Nate Oates is catching a lot of heat down in Alabama for letting Bediako come back. A lot of heat from the general public, from his coaching fraternity folks, understandably so. So the coach of UCLA, I'm not even sure who he is. Hope he didn't let him come back. Well, he can't come back yet. He has hired a lawyer to petition the NCAA, which means there's probably a lawsuit in the offing to let this guy come back and play. If this happens, this is worse than Bediako. If they let this guy, Amari Bailey, don't know anything about him, he's probably a great guy. Lord died for him too. But that's not the point. The point is you can't come back. But if he does, you're talking about opening up a can of worms. Then everybody, you pick the sport. Everybody says, I went and played with the Cincinnati Reds for a couple of years. Didn't do well. I want to come back to college. Went and played in the NFL. Didn't do so. I don't want to come back one more year. I left early to go play in the NFL. Want to come back. How many of these guys this year, a ton of them, have already said they're going to forego their last year or last 2 years of college football to get ready for the April draft of the NFL. That's why a lot of these guys didn't play in the college bowl games this year. They got to get ready for the draft. Okay, which means they're going out early. So if this goes through, these guys can go try out for the NFL, play a year or two, kind of bounce around, go, I want to go back, and I got 2 more years left at XYZ school, and I want to come back. And if this goes through, they'll be able to. So this is the game changer. Bediako's one thing because he played in the NBA G League. This guy played 10 games with the Charlotte Hornets. He was out there on the floor as a professional basketball player. He wants to come back to play college. So you may be all for this. I'm not, because I think it's not going to go anywhere but down for college athletics. Well, it won't be college athletics anymore. It's almost not anyway. But if this guy, and again, Amari Bailey, I got no qualms with this guy. If he walked in the room, if he sat right over, I'd say, you shouldn't do this. You signed the contract. You played in the NBA. You don't need to come back to college. You forego. You said you didn't want to, and so there you go. Mike Hines says if it happens, might well just call college sports semi-sports. I got to put my glass. Sorry, Mike. I put my glasses on, my Food City glasses. If this happens, might well just call college sports semi-sports league. Oh, absolutely. You're exactly spot on, Mike Hines. Thank you, sir. So, let's see. Anybody else? Brenda Grindstaff. Patsy Lyons, hello, dear. Emily Gorby. Floyd Nave, thank you guys for watching. So, anyway, that's where we are. So, Bediako is down here as far as uh-ohs. Up here is a big uh-oh. Amari Bailey from UCLA hiring an attorney to petition the NCAA, which means if he doesn't get what he wants, he's going to sue him. You know that as well as sure as I'm sitting in this chair. Tom Taylor Sports Show. We're in studio today. Chick-fil-A closed in the lobby. The drive-thru is open at 4:30 at Chick-fil-A in Elizabethton, which is where we'll be tomorrow. See, when I started the show, I was a little raspy, and I got this right here. Fisherman's Friend. I'm telling you, I have one in my pocket at all times. And I'm getting ready to pop another one here in a minute. but it works. Took care of the whatever it was I got going on. So, which I don't understand. I haven't talked for 2 or 3 days, but anyway, it is what it is. All right, let's take a look at college basketball from last night and yesterday. Got 2 games on tap tonight. If you're inside and can't go anywhere tonight, you got a couple of good ball games to watch, really. But from yesterday, Purdue, 12th ranked Purdue, a 30-point blowout over Maryland. 23rd, we'll get into the Lady Vols got blown out. We'll get into that here in a second. 23rd Alabama defeated, 19th ranked Florida defeated 23rd ranked Alabama, 100-77. Bediako was not a factor. In fact, Todd Golden, the Florida coach, I'm starting to like this guy. He shoots it straight too. I'm all about straight shooting. He said, they talked about down in the paint. We dominated the paint. So this guy was a non-factor. Let him play again. We're going to wear him out again. Ooh, like it. 8th ranked Iowa State, 34-point win over Kansas State. And the battle of top tens, it was number 9 Illinois knocking off number 5 Nebraska. Polls come out later today. I'm sure Nebraska will drop. Illinois beat them by 9 points, 78-69. So number 9 beat number 5 yesterday in college basketball. Tonight, 16th ranked North Carolina, the Dean Dome. The Tar Heels in the Dean Dome at Chapel Hill will host Syracuse. And a good one in a doubleheader, the second game. 11th ranked Texas Tech, the Red Raiders hosting 14th ranked Kansas. That'll be a good ball game. That's tomorrow night. I'm sorry, that is tonight. So Syracuse and North Carolina and Kansas at Texas Tech tonight. Those are 2 good ones. If you're shut in, can't go anywhere, don't want to go anywhere, it's going to be cold again tonight. You know how cold it's been around here when we say it's not as cold, it's going to be in the teens. Last week we were talking about getting down to the teens. We were well, now that's warm compared to, it was -2 here in my backyard this morning. And the record, it broke a record in 1971. Somewhere in the Tri-Cities, I guess the airport, it was 7 below. That's the air temperature. It wasn't the wind chill. That's the actual thermometer. 7 below. It was 2 below here because I saw it on my thermometer. So now we say that the teens, not as cold tonight, it's going to be in the teens. So, okay. It's like we're living in Alaska. But it's warming up starting tomorrow. That's good. All right, so Tuesday, top 25. Again, the polls come out today. Things will be changing. We'll go with the numbers as we have them right now. Number 2, UConn tomorrow night hosting Xavier. Number 4, Duke tomorrow night hosting Boston College. Number 17 tomorrow night, Virginia hosting Pittsburgh. 24th ranked St. Louis tomorrow night at Davidson. 24th ranked Miami of Ohio, Buffalo. And so that's your games tomorrow night involving top 25 college hoops. Now, the Lady Vols got blown out yesterday. 96, was it? 96-66, I think is what it was. Let's go back and look. I think I'll be about 30. And the Facebook's blown up. Can't coach. Got to get rid of her. She can't do it. Okay, so I'm a big fan of her because number 1, I think she can coach. Number 2, she's from West Virginia, so she's a fellow hillbilly. So I'm going to side with her, and we'll take up for her and defend her because she's from West Virginia. But you play the number 1 team in the country on their floor. What was I read some of these people's comments. I read about 10 of them. I said, I ain't reading any more of this. This is crazy. So, well, Pat wouldn't have put up with this. Pat would have made changes. Well, okay. Pat had more talent right now than she does. She's got a bunch of freshmen she's trying to mesh. Tom, they're 18 games into it. They're not freshmen anymore. Yeah, they are. You go to the number 1 team in the country, play UConn there, you guarantee last year's game. I bet they watched that game a lot this week just to get their attention. Bulletin board material. UT's coming. Pat Summitt's old team's coming. Gino's still coaching UConn. Enough said. And they wore him out. And she pretty much said that. I like him because she'll go in and say, we stunk it up. That's on me. So I don't think you throw the baby out of the bathwater quite yet. They go to Georgia this week, then they go to South Carolina. So, and again, going to UConn, number 1 team in the country, they got, 22, 23 now, a game-winning streak? Okay. You're making excuses. No, I'm not. They got beat. They got it handed to them. But, again, you go to the number 1 team's court in the country, it ain't like you're playing number 14, 15, whatever, you're playing number 1. And they played Mississippi State and stunk it up the other night. We know that too. So, but Anyway, I'm still a fan of the Lady Vols. I'm still a fan of Kim Caldwell. So she may not win another game. I don't know, but she will. But I'm just saying that, she knows she got some things to fix and clean up. But they're a young team. 18 games into it, you're still a young team, but you're getting more mature by the game. Obviously, they got Georgia later this week, so it is what it is. And so, she didn't do well, and she told us she didn't do well. And I'm sure that was a quiet plane ride back or bus. I don't think they bus back from Yukon. I'm sure they flew back to Knoxville. So, Junior says it's 26 in Anchorage, Alaska. It's colder here than it is there. Is that not crazy? It's 26 in Anchorage, Alaska, and it's what is it right now here? Let's see what we got. It was -2 on my back porch this morning. Air temperature. Let's see, it is 17 right now outside. There you go, 17. Let's see what it feels like. Probably feels like 17. It's actually, I'm sorry, it's jumped up to 24. All right. Heat wave, 24. So it's going to get down to 19 tonight and then 44 tomorrow. Rain developing tomorrow evening, 44. Rain in Wednesday, changing to snow, so I hope it doesn't mess up church again. Miss being in the church house yesterday. Missed old Junior's Sunday school lesson, but we'll be there this Sunday. So anyway, that's what's going on weather-wise. So it's 26 in Anchorage, Alaska right now, and it's 24 here. But still, it's warmer in the Tri-Cities, Tennessee, it is in Anchorage, Alaska. That's crazy. But, again, we serve a God. If he wants it to flip a switch and be 85 degrees, it'll be 85 degrees here. And that's how it rolls. He's running the show. All right, quick break. We've got more to talk about. Punxsutawney Phil saw his shadow 6 more weeks of bad weather on Groundhog Day, which is where we are today. So we'll take a break. We'll come right back. We got more. We got some baseball to take a look at. The obvious, the Super Bowl coming up this Sunday. Bad Bunny and the Patriots and the Seahawks. Again, as we told you, the Turning Point folks have come out with an alternative halftime show. I'm not sure what channel it's on. Now, Junior will find it out for me. He's a bird dog. He's my stringer. He's my helper. Need to get him a shirt. Tom Taylor, in fact, I will. I got him a tumbler and a coffee mug. I got to get him a T-shirt too. But he's my helper. So Turning Point said they have an alternative halftime show to Bad Bunny. If you don't want to watch Bad Bunny, someone want to watch him. That's okay. Like I said, the Lord died for him too. He's just not. I'm not interested. So when you can come out with a country music or an old classic rock, somebody besides rap every time. That's because Jay-Z's, they've allowed him to book the talent exclusively. What's he going to get? He's going to get that same genre every time. So that is wrong. They need to move it around. They moved the Super Bowl site around. Why don't they move the talent around, halftime talent? Get somebody different, not the same genre of music every time. So if Jay-Z was right here, I'd look at him and say, Hoss, bring me, rap's okay every 3 or 4 years, or whatever you call this stuff. But classic country, or just country. What's that girl's name wears a cowboy hat all the time? Laney somebody. Laney Wilson? Laney Nelson? Laney Wilson. There'd be probably a pretty good one. Reba Mike. I can go down the list of people. George Strait would be probably the top of the list. Or Alan Jackson, although he's not touring now because of his illness. But anyway, there are other options than rap or whatever the genre you call this music. So, and I could take it in spells every 3 or 4 years, just rotate it. Classic rock, country, rap, or whatever this is. There's 3 different, and rotate them. They rotate the sites, don't they? They sure do. They rotate the sites of where they are going to play the Super Bowl this week. This Sunday they'll be in Santa Clara, California. Tom Taylor Sports Show brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Again, the lobby's closed in Elizabethton today. Drive-thru is open until 4:30. Back after this, take a look at some Major League Baseball. They are inside of 2 weeks spring training. We got a NASCAR race. You got snowed out of Winston-Salem. Snowed out. Did you see the traffic pile up on 85 outside of Charlotte? Unbelievable. Had to call in the National Guard to help get it cleaned up. Unbelievable. It was like 15, 20 miles I read. That's how long people backed up sitting. So, it is what it is. When you start out in wintry weather, it's not always you. In fact, I'm pretty confident growing up in West Virginia. I'm pretty confident in my ability to drive in the snow. But now you have these other people that have moved in here that are not used to it from warmer states. We have people coming through here, going from point A to point B, to get stuck on top of Sam's Gap in the middle of a snowstorm. They have no clue what they're going to get into. They were just trying to go from point A to point B, and part of that point A to point B is up over 26 in Sam's Gap. It's like, holy tamale. I mean, I saw the guy come on Facebook the other night from the Tennessee Highway Patrol and said, we don't want anybody else coming up here because the roads are so bad. So you got truckers, you got people coming through from other states trying to get from point A to point B that have never experienced anything like Sam's Gap or any of these other places where there's a lot of snow, here in the Tri-Cities, for that matter. So that's what always creates, in this case, in Charlotte, that big traffic jam. They're not used to getting a foot of snow in Charlotte over there. And I mean, they got snow at the beach. What I read, 3 to 5 inches of snow at Myrtle Beach. Now, when I lived in Charleston, I did the Citadel ball games. It snowed down the year I was there, and it paralyzed the city because they don't have salt. They had to throw sand. They had a lot of sand, but they had to go get sand and throw sand down until it melted the next day. But for a day or two, or whatever it was, I mean, the city was paralyzed. It was back a long time ago, but they were not used to snow in Charleston, South Carolina when I lived there, at Myrtle Beach this weekend. So, anyway, where'd I get off on that? It's cold out there. Stay inside. We don't have to get out yet. It'll warm up tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the warm-up day, and things will get into the 40s. Super Bowl starts at 6:30. Yep, I'm interested in finding out where this Turning Point halftime show. If you don't want to watch Bad Bunny, it's a chance to watch it. It's on another channel, another network. I'm not sure where it is. I want to see if I can find it here during the break, which we're about to take. We'll be right back after this. We got Milligan basketball coming up on Saturday here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. It's an exciting Milligan University basketball doubleheader. Hi, this is Tom Taylor, inviting to join me this Saturday from Steve Lacy Fieldhouse as the Buffaloes entertain their rival, the Tennessee Wesleyan Bulldogs, out of Athens, Tennessee. Airtime at 1:45 with the Lady Buffs, men to follow, audio and video. Milligan University basketball hosting Tennessee Wesleyan. It all starts at 1:45 this Saturday here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show Facebook page and on YouTube. Go Milligan University basketball.
Hey, my name is Dante, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A nuggets is the authentic taste of it. You can tell it's freshly breaded, seasoned perfectly, and it just has this unique taste that compares to no other. Once I bite into it,
My name is Meredith, and a little thing I love about Chick-fil-A's mac and cheese is the oven-toasted, cheesy top layer. If home had a flavor, it would be Chick-fil-A's mac and cheese. I'm passionate about it.
Sponsors of Cyclone Sports and the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Real simple. A lot of furniture stores out there. Why come shop at Cannon's Fine Home Furnishings?
One of the biggest reasons people really rave about is 95% of every piece of furniture you see in our store, you can have it tomorrow. Don't wait 6 weeks. You can have it tomorrow. We're a firm believer in having stuff in stock. We have a 31,000 square foot warehouse, which is a huge warehouse. It's actually one of the largest warehouses of any furniture store in the Tri-Cities. And it's full of furniture. And we keep it that way because we want you to be able to come in, select it today, enjoy it tomorrow. It's not the same day. Sunday, sometimes we deliver the same day. So
it's just that simple, folks. So phone number to get a hold of you is
423-543-6937.
How do we find you on social media?
Just look under Facebook, look under Cannon Furniture. It will pop up everywhere. Also on Facebook, we're running specials all during the week. You'll see maybe some of them may be limited quantities, it's short period, but they're crazy prices. Like that chest you were talking about, $147 for a chest it's a crazy price, and it'll probably be gone within a few hours. But we're always running specials like that. Our website is cannonshomestore.com. We are improving it every day. We're going to make some major changes to our website. We're excited about that.
It's all right here, folks, in downtown Elizabeth. And be loyal, buy local, buy Cannon's Fine Home Furnishings. Great sponsor, proud sponsor of the Tom Taylor Sports Show and Elizabeth and Cyclone Sports. Cannon's Fine Home Furnishings. And back with the Tom Dooley Sports Show. It'll be on YouTube, is where the Turning Point, the halftime alternative show from the Super Bowl show, will be at on YouTube at halftime. So, and I'm going to try and get the list of the guests who are going to be on there, but it will be on YouTube for sure. So there you go. All right, college football. Former head coach Gus Malzahn from Auburn is retired from coaching. 35-year career, so I'm going home to spend time with the family. Enough's enough. Guy was a pretty good coach. He led Auburn to 8 seasons. For 8 seasons, he won an SEC title and finished as runner-up in his first season in 2013. He did something a lot of coaches at Auburn don't do. They beat Georgia and Alabama while he was there. Gus Malzahn was 105 wins and 62 defeats overall as a head coach. So after 35 years, time to step away. Want to spend more time with my family and focus on the next chapter of my life. So there you go. He'd been on the coaching staff at Florida State. So I'm going to go home. So in total, he won 2 SEC titles as a coordinator and a head coach. He coached Heisman Trophy winner Cam Newton in 2010. 2 more finalists, Auburn's Trey Mason in 2013, Arkansas's Darren McFadden in 2006. So this guy was, 105 and 62 and a couple of SEC titles. Ain't too shabby. So, again, he coached at several different stops. Transitioned from high school to the SEC in 2006. And so he, moved on, and now he said, I'm going to move on again. So Gus Malzahn is retiring from coaching in college football. So there you go. Why? Why a lot of them are doing it. Spend more time with their family because it is what it is. All right, let's take a look at some baseball news. Spring training starting up very, very soon. So we had a trade over the weekend, and so it is a trade going from Boston to the White Sox. Boston Red Sox have traded right-hander Jordan Hicks and right-handed pitching prospect David Sandlin to the White Sox for a couple of minor leaguers. So Hicks, one of the hardest throwers in baseball, goes from the Red Sox to the White Sox over the weekend. So, again, you're looking February the 11th, 12th. You can do the math. It's 10 days out. Spring training starts, so which I'm getting excited about. Puerto Rico considering withdrawing from the World Baseball Classic because insurance issues have struck at the heart of their proposed roster. See, I get this. Jose Altuve was it 2023, got hurt, missed 43 games in the Astros because he got hurt in the World Baseball Classic. Now, I'm paying you, in this case the Astros, I'm paying you good money, really good money, to come out here and compete and perform every day. You go to the World Baseball Classic and got hurt, got hit on his, if I remember right, he got hit on his thumb, broke his thumb. I think he got thrown, got hit on a hit-by-pitch, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, he was out 43 games. It's a 162-game season, so you can do the math. About a fourth of the season he was out because he got hurt in the World Baseball Classic. Well, these guys that want to play now, the insurance companies aren't going to pick them up. If you get hurt, you get hurt. Yeah, if I get hurt, you'll still pay me. No, you're contracted to play for the Major League Baseball team. Now, if you get hurt when you're playing for the Major League Baseball team, we'll cover it. But you go play with the World Baseball Classic, we ain't covering it. And so now Puerto Rico's got 8 guys that were pretty good, that are pretty good players, that all of a sudden going, we're not guaranteed if we get hurt. You shouldn't be guaranteed if you get hurt because that's not who you work for. Your employer is your Major League Baseball team. World Baseball Classic is a fun thing to be a part of, obviously, but that's not who signed your check day in and day out. These guys, in essence, want their cake and eat it too. So I'm going to go play over here in this sandbox. If I get hurt, you'll still help me and pay for me, but I'm not in the original sandbox. I'm going to go play in this other sandbox. Okay. To their credit, the insurance people said no. Insurance folks said no. No, you're employed by the Major League team. Astros infielder Carlos Correa, Blue Jays right-hander Jose Barrios, Twins catcher Victor Caratini are among those not expected to be able to participate because the insurance companies won't cover them if they get hurt. I don't blame insurance companies one iota. So, I I mean, I'm just going to try and use an example, but it's pretty clear cut. There is no need for an example. It is what it is. You're employed by me. You go over and get hurt playing for them, but you still want me to pay you because you can't play for me because you got hurt playing for them. Hello? But again, that's called spoiled brats, and they want their cake and eat it too. And so, to their credit, insurance companies are saying no. The insurance provider, Francisco Lindor, have not been approved to be insured. In his case, the insurance provider of the World Baseball Classic declined to cover the salary obligations because he's undergone a pair of elbow surgeries over the past 3 seasons. So why would I say, yeah, go out there and play? If you get hurt, we'll cover you. He's had 2 elbow surgeries over the last 3 years. Okay. Why in the world would that insurance company go, yeah, go on over there and play. We'll cover you? No, don't think so. So, anyway, he's going to have a normal spring training with the Mets in advance of the Major League Baseball season. He had an elbow procedure in the offseason in October, so there's one. So what if he goes over there and plays, gets hurt, and he's out again, and the Mets are paying him big bucks to be a Met, and gets hurt over there playing the World Baseball? He re-injures his elbow. He just had surgery in October, November, December, January, February. 4 months ago, he had elbow surgery. We're going to pay him to go play over there, and if he gets hurt, that's okay, we'll pay you. No, I like this. I appreciate what they're doing, the insurance companies. Well, it should be. You need to have some teeth. So, further complicating the issue, Puerto Rico is scheduled to host pool play in San Juan. The rosters are set to be finalized by Tuesday, which is tomorrow. Former All-Star catcher Yadier Molina is set to manage the Puerto Rican team. There may not be one. So, insurance policies, which are provided by a league-approved insurer, cover a player's salary for multiple seasons in the event of an injury during the WBC. The underwriting process for those policies has become more exacting following the injuries to Jose Altuve during the most recent World Baseball Classic in 2023, and also Edwin Diaz. They both got hurt. So, policies are no longer extended to players who are age 37 or older. Okay, I get that too, because the older you are, the more likely you are to get hurt. So, Puerto Rico may not have a team. Oh, well. So, I like it. I think it's right. So, I don't think it's the way it should be. Other baseball news, the Reds got one. Eugenio Suarez, the Reds, is now a Red, I should say. Suarez, again, agreed to a 1-year, $15 million contract with the Reds. So he had 49 home runs last year. He lingered for months in free agency. So he had a subpar second half. He didn't do so hot. The first half, he was on fire. Second half, he kind of wilted, but the Reds are going to take a chance on him. If he comes back in any way, shape, or form that he did in the first half of the season when he had 49 home runs, and the Reds got themselves a deal. 1 year, $15 million contract. So, Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, probably the friendliest stadium in the majors to hit home runs. And so this guy, they're hoping to kind of really jump up and help him. I'm, of course, being a Reds guy, pretty excited about that. So, he ranks 6th in the majors right now, 227 home runs since 2019. He has topped 30 home runs in 4 or 5 seasons since 2021. He has hit 325 home runs in his career. So Suarez will be a Red now for 1 year, which I think is pretty cool. All right, NASCAR. They were supposed to race, and they're not going to race because the cold weather got postponed till Wednesday. Snow in Winston-Salem. They showed a picture of the stadium, Bowman Gray Stadium. It's covered in snow, as you expect. Cookout Clash at Bowman Gray has been rescheduled for Wednesday, day after tomorrow, due to the impacts of the historic winter storm in Winston-Salem. They had a foot. NASCAR Cup Series practice and qualifying is scheduled for 1:30. The last chance qualifier is scheduled for 4:30, and then the actual race itself will be at 6 o'clock. So NASCAR continue to work closely with the city of Winston-Salem and North Carolina Department of Transportation on the ongoing impacts of the winter weather. The city surrounding had up to a foot of snow in Winston-Salem. Parking lots will be open at 11:30, so they are going to go with it and go on with it and see what happens. So no artists have been. That's what I thought. I looked, and there's no artists have been announced yet for the show. Thanks, Junior. Oh, Junior's a good one. So But it's going to be on YouTube at halftime of the Super Bowl, so you don't have to watch Bad Bunny if you don't want to. Some will. It's America. You can do what you want to. And so, but there is an option now. If you don't want to watch Bad Bunny, you can watch this Turning Point. The artist has not been named yet, so I'm sure they will later today. I mean, you're getting close at some point this week, obviously. They will come out and let you know. We'll be at Food City on Friday. Food City Friday, we do have a couple of specials going on right now at Food City. They buy one, get one, so you can stock up. They tell us another storm's coming on February the 10th to the 15th. I read that. The doom and gloomers have said, "Oh, get ready for another bad Arctic vortex, polar vortex coming." It's okay. If it does, it does. We'll deal with it if it comes. Tomorrow we deal with 40-degree temperatures. We'll deal with that. We like that. Craven Flavor Pizzas, buy one, get one free at all Food Cities. We'll be at Food City in Gray on Friday. Craven Flavor Ice Cream, buy one, get one free. Smart Ones entrees, buy one, get one free. Heinz ketchup or Food Club salad dressing, buy one, get one free through Tuesday. New sale paper comes out on Wednesday through tomorrow. New sale paper on Wednesday. We'll be at Chick-fil-A in Elizabethton tomorrow. That's our plan. They are closed today. Drive-thru's open till 4:30. And we'll close early, get everybody home. It's supposed to be another cold night in the teens. And, of course, whatever thaws and melts today, and it is out there because it's up to 24 degrees and the sun's out. At least the sun's out, where I'm at. It'll refreeze. It'll be slicker and whiz tomorrow morning again. But then after that, it's going to warm up. So most of the schools are out today. A lot of the businesses are closed. Some businesses, not a lot. Some are closed today. The jeweler's bench normally open today is closed. So means you can go tomorrow and get your Valentine's Day jewelry. So at the jeweler's bench. Anyway, Craven Flavor Ice Cream, buy one, get one free. Prego Pasta Sauce, buy one, get one free. Natural Choice Large Eggs. Well, I wouldn't give some big old plate of scrambled eggs right now. A dozen Natural Choice Large Eggs, buy one, get one free, limit 2 at all Food Cities. And you have Terry's or Zapp's, Z-A-P-P-S, Zapp's potato chips, buy one, get one free. Those are going on through, as we said, going on through tomorrow. So there you go. Tom Taylor Sports Show. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Got a few more things to talk about. We're working our way through this Monday show, Groundhog Day. He saw his shadow 6 more weeks of bad weather. Happy birthday to Christy Brinkley, the supermodel, 72 today. Graham Nash from Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young. Graham Nash, 84 today. And then also happy birthday to Howard Bellamy from the Bellamy Brothers. And Howard's having a birthday, and he is 80 today. So there you go. There's some of the birthdays, some of the folks. I guess the biggie would be Christy Brinkley, the supermodel, former wife of, who was Billy Joel? The former Mrs. Billy Joel is having a birthday today. She is 72. Preds on the ice tonight. They skate against the St. Louis Blues in Nashville. We'll take a look at that and some more sports coming up. Got some NFL news. It's Super Bowl week. We'll be right back after this on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Hey there, neighbors. Todd Houston here with the Elizabethton Church of Christ, wishing you a very happy new year and a wildly successful 2026. I'd like to invite you to come and get to know our family here at Elizabethton as we are seeking to be more like our Lord every day. We're no perfect people, but we're a people that love the Lord and love you. We'd love to get to know you. If you'd like to join us, our times are at 10 and 11 a.m. on Sunday, 6:30 p.m., and then again Wednesday evening at 7. You can find us on Facebook or at elizabettoncoc.org.
Center, proud sponsor of Cyclone Sports and the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Tammy Troutman. A lot of antique stores out there. Why come to the Eagle Center?
Oh my goodness, there are so many reasons to come and visit the Eagle Center. We have wonderful vendors, nearly 50 vendors who have the best merchandise. They hunt, they pick, they're always changing it out, keeping it clean and fresh and new and interesting, and we have wonderful vendors.
Yes, you do. And we're going into the spring. We're in spring and summer. Great time coming down downtown Elizabeth and shop here because the inventory changes all the time.
Yes, it does. And we have air conditioning, so you can come in, cool off, look at things, browse. We have 2 levels of just about everything you could think of.
Gift certificates?
We have gift certificates available. We have layaway available.
Yep. You can do those. Get a gift certificate. Give it. They can come back and get what they want when they want, or do a layaway for down the road, even into the holidays. You can do that. It's all right here. The hours are open.
We're open 10 to 5 every single day except for Sunday.
Mm-hmm. And where do we find you on social media?
We're on Eagle Center Co-op on Facebook, and then Eagle Center Antiques on Instagram.
And the phone number we have to call to find out,
The
talk
phone
to
number
you?
is 542-6674.
There you go. One of our great sponsors here on the Tom Dillon Sports Show and on Cyclone Sports, the Eagle Center in downtown Elizabethton.
So I stopped in at Chick-fil-A for lunch and saw Officer Wilson come in. I decided to place a dine-in mobile order and have a cookie delivered to him just to show appreciation for his service for our community.
A few minutes later, I noticed that Officer Wilson had gotten up and left, and I knew he hadn't gotten his cookie yet.
I'm headed to my car. I turn around and I see Allie, and she's running after me.
Mr. Police Officer, Mr. Police Officer.
Usually when someone yells, officer, officer, they want to ask me about a ticket they got. I absolutely wanted the cookie. This cookie's delicious.
Back on the Tom Dillon Sports Show, as you see on the screen, show number 2438. We're in studio today, brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Again, they are closed in the lobby. Drive-thru is open till 4:30 at Chick-fil-A in Elizabeth, and swing through and get whatever you want. Get a root beer float. That'd be good. Go give me one there. I'll be there tomorrow with the show. And if the lobby's open, we'll be there. And so looking forward to being over there tomorrow, hanging out with Tommy and the gang. That's the plan. Unless things change, that's our intent. Be there tomorrow if the lobby's open at Chick-fil-A in Elizabethton. Wednesday, Chick-fil-A in Johnson City on People Street. They're right down from Best Buy. And then Thursday we'll be at Poor Trav's Deli with the best steam sandwiches in the Tri-Cities, bar none. Then Friday we'll kick off the Super Bowl weekend. We have more to say about the Super Bowl tomorrow. Getting closer, more and more stories. They got the dumbest stuff. It's like, what, the pregame ritual, what toothpaste does Joe Schmo use, and does he comb his hair to the left or the right? Does he chat? I mean, it's the craziest stuff. They're looking for anything to talk about going into the game. And so they interview these guys and this and that. And so, anyway, we'll have more to say about the Super Bowl tomorrow because we're getting ever so closer to the Patriots and the Seahawks. Should be a pretty good football game. Defense will win it. Whoever's going to be and your kicking game will be big. Whoever's the best kicker, we'll take a look at that tomorrow. Break it down for you. And so the special teams, in this case, the place kicker, will have a big impact on this game. It's going to be in California, so the weather should be. Of course, I say that. We're warmer here than it is in Anchorage, Alaska right now, thanks to Junior's reporting. So I would assume Santa Clara, California is going to be pretty good weather-wise for the Super Bowl, but you never know. All right, on the ice tonight, National Hockey League, the Predators home against the St. Louis Blues. Buffalo skates at Florida. The Penguins home to Ottawa. The Islanders at Washington tonight. Minnesota hosting Montreal. Winnipeg and Dallas skating against the Stars. The Blackhawks in Chicago hosting San Jose. Detroit skates at Colorado, the number one team in the league. Vancouver will be at Utah, and Calgary, the Flames hosting the Toronto Maple Leafs. Starting the week, the best teams in the National Hockey League win-wise. Avalanche has 36. They are the best in the league, and they are hosting the Detroit Red Wings tonight, who have 32 wins. That's going to be a heck of a matchup. Avalanche and Detroit in Colorado tonight. Tampa Bay with 34 wins. The Carolina Hurricanes. Now, my buddy Brandon Young has got me kind of turned on to watching he said, you need to be a Caniac. His wife is a huge Dara, his wife, is a huge Carolina Hurricane fan. I mean, they're telling me the other day that they go and they go to Raleigh, watch them play periodically, and they wear their Hurricane jerseys and they paint their faces, or she paints her face, and I mean they're fired up by the Hurricanes. Anyway, they're the 34 wins. They and the Lightning are the two of the better teams, the two best teams record-wise in the National Hockey League. So the number one team is Colorado with 36 wins. 34 are the Lightning and the Hurricanes. 32 wins would be the Detroit Red Wings. 32 wins are the Boston Bruins. 31 wins right now are the Buffalo Sabres and the Chicago Blackhawks. And then you have 32 wins, the Minnesota Wild, and 30 wins are the New York Islanders, and the Dallas Stars have 32 wins. There's a lot of parity in National Hockey League, but the best team right now is the Colorado Avalanche. They got a big test tonight. 36 wins for them and 32 wins for Detroit. That one will be in Colorado tonight. It'll be a good one on the ice. We'll let you know tomorrow who wins. I know you're dying to know this, but my team, there it is, just point. The Raiders. Let's go there. There you go, Tom. Right there, buddy. Get it right there. I'd be a great weatherman. Pointed North Dakota, meaning to say Mississippi. So the Raiders, looks like they got their guy, Clint Kubiak, Seattle Seahawks offensive coordinator, the last coach to be hired by a franchise, in this case, the Raiders, will be Clint Kubiak. All the other teams got their coaches. Kubiak, 38, directing one of the top offenses with Sam Darnold at the helm. So the Seahawks, of course, they can't talk to him. Let's see what the rule is here. They cannot, there you go, has to work, cannot talk to him really technically. They've already interviewed him, but now it's Super Bowl week and he's hands off, and we get that. He's going to get ready for the Seahawks to coach that team. And so they will be able to pick him up after the Super Bowl, like today, week from today, I should say. They should be able to close out the deal, but it looks like Clint Kubiak will be leaving the Seahawks after the Super Bowl. That's not a guarantee. That's the talk. There it is. The deal cannot become official until after the Super Bowl when Kubiak and the Seahawks take on the Patriots. So it has to be waited until next Monday. Will be the first time they can announce it, if in fact that's what happens. I mean, there's always a chance it won't. But a couple of good basketball games tonight. 16th ranked North Carolina hosting the Syracuse Orange at Chapel Hill in the Dean Dome. And also, you have 14th ranked Kansas at number 11 Texas Tech tonight. The Jayhawks and Red Raiders, a couple of good men's college basketball games to take in tonight, if you are so inclined. So that's what you got going on there. This auction, you have what is today? The 2nd. You have 8 more days to bid on this auction. Again, Collins and Company is going to be with us tomorrow on the show. You have until the 10th. Go to collinsandcompany.info to bid on. This is a household liquidation online auction event. Been going on since the 27th. Goes until the 10th, which is next Tuesday. So you have lawn and garden equipment. It's a complete household liquidation. Everything started at $1 a bid. Don't know where they are now. I can't imagine they're all still at $1 a bid since been out there for over a week. But still, lawn and garden equipment, a Craftsman riding mower, 17.5 horsepower, 42-inch mowing deck. There it is right there. You can see they got it on the screen. Here's what you're bidding on there. Started at $1 a bid last week. You have a Craftsman gas-powered weed eater, a Craftsman battery-powered weed eater, a Werner 6-foot fiberglass ladders, fiberglass handled rakes, shovels, assorted gardening tools at collinsandcompany.info. Under the outdoor living category, patio gazebo, a small patio furniture set of 4-piece, a large outdoor swing with cushions. Well, there it is right there on the screen. Let's show that one. See, there's the swing. Now, that's pretty cool to bid on that. I may bid on that myself. Put that in the old backyard here at the homestead. Let's see. You have multiple sets of patio chairs, a grill, a fireplace. Under the power tools and equipment, you can bid on a Black & Decker bench grinder, a Cobalt wet tile saw, a Cobalt compound miter saw, assorted battery-operated power tools from Craftsman, Skill, and Ryobi. You have multiple toolboxes, metal and plastic, extension cords, all this to bid on, again, at collinsandcompany.info. Then inside the home, you have recliners, a queen platform bed, televisions, home appliances, home decor. All you got to do is go to collinsandcompany.info, and there you be. Again, the Turning Point halftime show is going to be viewed on YouTube. They have not announced the lineup yet. Hopefully it will be tomorrow. We'll be able to be back tomorrow at Chick-fil-A and Elizabethton. So we'll be able to tell you tomorrow who's going to be on the show if you're so inclined to watch it. Some may still want to watch Bad Bunny, and that's okay too. It's America. You do what you want. So, but for this old cowboy, number one, I'll be in church. So hope we have church. I know we will have church on Sunday because it's going to clear up. But so missed the church house yesterday. Never know how good the water tastes. The well goes dry. They had a service. They did a really good job. Chandler O'Brien and Adelaide and Dale Vance did the service. I believe it's from West Virginia, is where they piped it in from. They did a really good job, but it's not the same as Mark Fowler and Junior Campbell and Greg Rustin and the boys and Marcus. So hopefully we'll have church back on Sunday. Hope so. All right, birthdays again, wrapping it up. Christy Brinkley, 72, Graham Nash, 84, and Howard Bellamy, 80. That's your birthdays on this Groundhog Day. He did see his shadow, and so there will be 6 more weeks of bad weather. But think spring. So how many days are there? I don't know when the first day of spring is this year. Let's see when it is. When is the first day of spring 2026? It is March 20th. All right, so let's see. How many days? How many days to March 20th, 2026? March
20th, 2026 is in
46 days. 46 days till spring. We can live through that. It's going to be all right. Divide that by 7. 7 sevens are 49. So about 6 weeks left of this madness here, and we'll get into spring and baseball and NASCAR and Major League Baseball, high school baseball, college baseball, and softball, and the other spring sports, track and field, and boys soccer in high school. So, yep, about 6 more weeks of this, but it is supposed to moderate the temperatures starting tomorrow. So, but I'm sure we'll get some more bad weather or cold weather. Some don't think it's bad weather. Some like it. So we'll say more wintry weather between now and springtime. Guarantee it will, because we're in the hills of Appalachia. And we're not out of the woods yet by any stretch of the imagination. Remember one of the biggest snows I ever had was in when? It was in March. So remember that, the blizzard of, 93? All right, we're out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Let's give the verse of the day one more time before we get out of here. Thanks so much for watching. It's, I like being here. It's different than not being out amongst the brethren, but it's okay. I like sitting here inside the studio. That's why we built it. That's why we got it. For days like today, we can't get out. We've had to do that for, this is the 11th year. February, this is our anniversary month, our 11th year of being on the show. We probably had to use this because of weather. I'd say if I went back and looked, probably a dozen times, all told. So anyway, here it is, the verse of the day, Psalm 62:8, trust in, lean on, rely on, and have confidence in Him at all times. He's the Lord. He knows what's going on. Pour out your hearts before Him. God is a refuge or a fortress for us. Selah, which, as we said earlier, anytime you see it in the Bible, in the Old Testament, in the book of Psalms in particular, Selah, which means S-E-L-A-H, which means pause or think about what you just read. Trust in, lean on, rely on, have confidence in Him at all times, you people. Pour out your hearts before Him. God is a refuge for us. He wants to hear your problems. That's why He's there. He says in the New Testament, bring it to me. Come all you who are burdened and heavy laden, I will give you rest. He says, tell me what's going on. I already know because I'm God, but tell me. Then I finish it up by saying, thank you, Lord Jesus, that you want us to have total confidence in you to help us with our lives, to tell you everything that's going on. And then you remind us that you are a refuge or a fortress, that we can get behind you as you want to protect us. Thank you, Lord Jesus, for loving us the way you do. Good way to end it. Thanks for watching the show. It's Psalm 62:8. You want to go back and read it yourself. It's good. A lot of meat on the bone right there. Thanks for watching the show. Back tomorrow. We, in theory, will be at Chick-fil-A in Elizabeth. If not, if it's still not clear enough to be, or the lobby's not open again tomorrow, whatever the case may be, we'll either be here or we'll be there. So if we're there, we got guests lined up ready to go. If not, you'll be right here with me, or I'll be right here with you tomorrow from the studio. Thanks for watching show number 2438 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show, live today at the Tom Taylor Sports Show studios. And so brought to you by Chick-fil-A of Elizabethton. Lobby is closed. Drive-thru is open until 4:30. The lobby or the drive-thru again at Chick-fil-A in Elizabethton open today till 4:30. They're going to close and send everybody home to get through this one more cold night, back down to the teens tonight. So again, as we said earlier, whatever melts and thaws will refreeze tonight. So it's going to be somewhat tricky tomorrow as well. But then tomorrow we get into the 40s, and so we'll start to melt down, and then rain and tomorrow night into Wednesday. So that rain will really melt the snow really quick. So plus 40-degree temperatures, that'll move things along pretty quickly. So as far as melting. Back tomorrow. Thanks for watching the show. Again, we always close about saying bloom where you're planted, and win or lose, be a good sport. Thanks for watching the show. 2438 today from the Tom Taylor Sports Show studio. Brought to you by the good folks from Chick-fil-A of Elizabeth. And see you back tomorrow, right back